this challenge, we have a number of mentors. We have Professor Sassi here as the mentor from the University of Pavia. She came with a group of 5 students. They are actively participating in this challenge on the cooperative model. We have Claire from the University of Alton behind there. Yes, that's Claire. She led a group of 4 students from Alton. They are here with us. And then we have Fahad from Egerton University here and there. Fahad led a group of 6 students from Egerton. They braved the road from Egerton to Gulu. Those were very many hours on the road, but they are here with us. They are participating fully in the challenge. And then for Gulu University, we had Kawan's Derek. He was here with us yesterday, but he's not here now. Derek and Moses Ukwaro, they are the ones facilitating they are the mentors for the Gulu team. Derek is also graduating tomorrow. He's done it in record time, exactly 2 years. So when we talk about empowerment, this is what it has done. Derek has been very exceptional. He's graduating on record time with a very high CGPA, which is very good for us. So that is the team that is mentoring our students. And on the program, we are going to hear some experiences from the students. But before we do that, maybe we want to hear a word or 2 from the mentors. I don't know which order you will take, but the mentors are here, 3 of you are around. Then after you, then we shall listen to the students. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for the introduction. I never wanted to spoil because I didn't even know who is Sassi, who is Fahad, so I said, let my grandfather be the one responsible to introduce members to the family. Please, mentors, we are going to listen from you what you have and how you have been mentoring our students. So I don't know the order, but I would say I've been warned that she's still capturing our voices and our faces. I hope you seek for consent. We shall start with Claire, so share with us. Thank you. Then Fahad, please be prepared as well.
I'll come up here so you don't all have to turn around. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to be here, and especially Professor Fazal for inviting us to Gulu University in general. This is my 2nd year mentoring. Last year I took a group of Alto students to University of Nairobi, and we had a really lovely experience there. And this has been quite a different experience, but extremely rewarding for me, and I believe for the students who will come up shortly. What can I say about mentoring? It's very hard. You have to learn how to step back, but also provide the right amount of support. I think we've done very well, at least in my opinion. Again, we'll hear from the students in ensuring that this is very student-led. We've provided some guidance in workshops and in scheduling, but it's really been up to the students about what questions do you want to ask, who do you want to talk to, and it's been a really great example of knowledge co-creation. This particular challenge has students from 4 universities, and every student has quite a different background. So for example, from Alto, I think no one has any experience with agriculture, so they were able to bring in some different tools, methods, and ways of thinking. They've learned a lot from especially the students from Gulu and Egerton who have this agricultural experience, and the students from Pavia who have a lot of this fieldwork experience and knowledge. So it's really been about empowering the students so they can do what they want, ask what they want, and work in the field, which I think has been very positive. And then for me as a mentor, I've learned a lot from Maria, from Fahad, and from Derek. I think they all have a lot more fieldwork experience than me. And then also, especially Fahad knows so many tools to use with the students. So I've been noting things down in my journal so I can steal them for myself in the future. But yeah, I don't know if it's more or less than what I used to say. overall, I'm very happy, and I think this project has been quite successful, at least with my goals of having the students take center stage.
Thank you so much. And what I built from your discussion, you were sharing experience, you have said you have learned from fellow mentors. And this project has been a success because the different backgrounds, different professions working together makes you feel happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perhaps you're most welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Fahad Luta Juma from Egerton University, the mentor working with the students from Egerton as well from the other universities. For me, the mentorship process and this challenge has been quite interesting because actually this has been my first experience as acting as a mentor in the challenge, but I've been a student in the challenges before. So it was quite an interesting experience to try to share with the students I'm mentoring right now, the experiences that I also had as a student a few years back. And also appreciating the process that also the mentors also appreciating what you know, and the students also actually appreciating what you know, because I guess some of the most rewarding experiences that I've had in this field is actually not you telling the students what to do, but you facilitating the students to understand that they have the knowledge and they have the ability to solve the problems that are out there in the field. So that has been the most empowering moment for me and the most satisfying moment for me in this particular challenge. And also, it's also been good to try to work with the different fields of expertise. Because what thing that we also do with the students that I normally do at the end of the day is trying to make them to try to understand that whatever field that they are in, they still have an impact and they still have a role to take whatever they have, whatever knowledge they have, whatever skills they have back to the community and so that it can help the community. And it's been quite satisfying to see the students actually appreciating the role that they have towards the development as a mentor. So I'm really appreciative for that particular chance to do that, and I'm also very appreciative for you because I know nothing wouldn't be possible without your support as the management of the project. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Farah. And the importance of facilitation, as I've said, is very key as a mentor. And I'm happy to hear that you were once in the challenge and now you're also challenging others. Thank you so much. Professor Sassi, we want to listen, and I have also volunteered to capture you and you also share your Because we are listening from mentors. Do you have another mentor? Students? Oh. All right. Anyone with a question to the two mentors who have spoken, if you have a comment or two, please, we can have it said. Yes. Thank you.
Like a question,
What do you?
I will want to also ask probably from the students any noticeable change that you see from an individual on this short duration from interacting with other students?
For my students?
Yes.
Yes, I don't want to speak too much for them, but one thing that we've talked about a lot is we're really learning these interpersonal and intercultural skills. I think one, interpersonal would work in any PPL project, no matter if it's international or not, because for many students, I think this is your first time working on a really student-led team. And then I think the intercultural experience has been really invaluable. Getting to go to a place that they've never been to before and interacting with students who otherwise never meet. And I think, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think she maybe will talk about this a little bit as well. But I think it's been quite a positive experience in terms of working with students who otherwise never would have.
Thank you.
Okay, that aspect of intercultural skills, and I like the way they are sitting. That shows that intercultural skills are working. This is from this side of the hemisphere, the other on the other side of the hemisphere, but the sitting shows that indeed they are now one. Thank you so much for your work.
Yes, actually just maybe project to start. By the second day of the field, okay, this is something that not among the students who's going to the field. All of them actually need to introduce themselves in actual to the community.
Any other comment for the two mentors? If not,
Maybe.
Professor Mbaka,
Thank you, Chair. Now to the mentors, I know there will be an evaluation, but if you could just quickly reflect on the previous challenge, and then this one, and then the coming challenge, because there are people here who are going to, in the process of rolling out challenges, what advice would you give going forward?
One advice I would give is that the role of actually the key people in the challenge is not us, or the students, it's actually the community you're trying to impact on. Because if you don't really involve them in the challenge development, they'll not really understand what you're trying to do, therefore it's hard for you to work in the field. But if you really engage the community, the farmers or the companies from the moment go, then they really understand the impact, because what you're trying to do is actually very, very important to them. But if they don't understand what you're trying to do, then you'll have even a hard time implementing the challenge itself. Because I think the good thing that I learned from this challenge, the Gulu, is that wherever we went in the field, they knew that we had a purpose to be there, and it was a very, very crucial purpose for us to be there. And so they were very, very willing to work with us in whatever way that we would wish to engage with them. So it's very important for you to engage all the stakeholders involved, especially at the community level or at the company level.
thank you so much. So the key person, the key stakeholder is not the student, not the mentor, not the professor, but the community where we are going. Thank you, Fahad, for such a message, which we shall keep taking into practice.
Maybe I can just add on to that, because it's so important. You want to make sure the students have enough time to prepare. So Sunday was actually supposed to be our break day, but the students knew they had so much work and they really wanted to have their questions ready so they would be prepared in the field. So we ended up working a few hours, quite a few hours, on Sunday out of the students' own choice. So it would have been nice if we had had a bit more time. But yeah, make sure enough time is on the schedule so students are ready.
Professor, the key message is students should have enough time to prepare for the challenges so that they can do productive work. Yes, students, it's your time. And you start by introducing who are you, then you continue. The order is, whoever is ready, and come. To give motivation, to give confidence to the other one. So I see you already, please come.
Yes, good morning everyone. By the name of Vincent, I'm a student from Gulu University. I'm so privileged to be part of this AgriSCALE Student Challenge. First of all, I would like to start by appreciating our mentors. They were really helping us, and what they've done, it has helped us to move on. And then I would also like to appreciate all the stakeholders, all the managers who are involved in this project. It was quite interesting. I have learned a lot when we started this project. Since it is student-centered, it just really impacted a lot onto us as students. And from what I've learned from the field, because we were working based on cooperative, which are among the farmers in the village, they were really willing to cooperate with us, and what they have given us, although we are going to write our report, but our report will be based on the solutions they have given as farmers, not from our perspective as students, but our recommendation will be based on their recommendation, what they think it is appropriate for them. And that we start, I think it will be really helpful for the farmers to increase on their production. And then one of the things I've also learned is that there's really need to involve this community or the farmers in the decision making. Take for instance, in many cases, in almost all the cooperatives we went to, there was a problem of decision making on what crops they grow in a particular season, because they grow this particular crop but then there's no market for it. But when they are fully involved, maybe in the work plan before the planting season, and they are advised on which type of crop they are to grow, they will be able to get markets easily. So in our recommendation, we shall also advise West Acholi to really do a lot in order to involve this community in the work plan development, such that the farmers cannot suffer at the end because of lack of market for their produce. And then another thing which needs to be done, or what I've learned pertaining to cooperative in the villages, is that there is really need for monitoring and evaluation. Trainings are being done in the villages, training those farmers, but a trainer may go once in a while, and as being in a village setting, they need constant reminders such that what they've learned should not disappear from them, and by monitoring and evaluation, it will help the organization, maybe West Acholi, to know whether what they are training is really helpful to the farmers. And then another thing is, we found that there is really a communication gap between the maybe farm organization, maybe like West Acholi, and those small cooperatives in the villages. Because whenever there is that lack of communication, it is present almost everything. So what I've learned, that in order for the cooperative to function normally, there should be a proper channel of communication between the bigger organization and those small cooperatives. I've also learned a lot from my fellow students. They were really helpful to me. They really did a good work, and we were sharing knowledge and ideas, and we were benefiting from each other. I have many, but due to time factor, I wouldn't like to take much of your time. I really appreciate being part of this AgriSCALE Student Challenge. I really appreciate it, and I take it in good faith. I'm fully empowered, because right now I'm in position to work with the community members or with the farmers, because in my background I did accounting, which is more business related. But now what I've learned from this challenge is that working with the farmers can really help me, help me to get a practical solution from the farmer's perspective. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Our comments will come after all of them are presented. I wish to welcome Waswabe, the project accountant. Thank you so much, Man. Please, students, come, we listen, then after we shall have comments for you from the audience. Don't worry, we shall not have questions. We shall not have comments.
Please have some. That would be great. Uchoma be. Niña Akul, Aki University of Pavia. For some of our foreign colleagues, just to clarify, my name is Akulbek Bakudev. I'm coming from the University of Pavia, and I'm here to talk about some of the findings of our research. So first of all, I wanted to thank you all for inviting us here. It is truly showing that in the education that you are giving to the students, you are including the students themselves and letting them have their voice. So firstly, before I start, I wanted to make a point on the empowerment that you were talking about, because I have had a beautiful opportunity to listen to your discussion. And the point of empowerment that we've seen in our research is that in the beginning, you would feel a bit of confused, because there was not enough structure that I maybe wanted to see. All the students just met each other for the first time, so it was just, the communication was just starting to build. And thanks for the support from our mentors. Now, at the end of the journey, what I can say is that we truly feel empowered, because we're equipped with the perfect setting, perfect environment for us to develop the methodology that we're using, develop the questionnaire that we're having, and to gather the information in such a way that it was not an interviews, but it was rather a discussion with our fellow colleagues from the cooperatives. And it was truly a beautiful experience. So some of the findings are already mentioned by my colleague who gave the presentation before, but there are 2 points that I just want to highlight. First is about trainings. And there was an interesting point about the education being not for the leaders only, but for everybody, and to ensure that everybody gets that knowledge. So what we found is that the education going on at the trainings performed for the farmers in the fields by the Wachu cooperative is that it is usually being performed in some cooperatives for just a few people. They are invited to Gulu, and then they're supposed to spread the knowledge once they return back to their societies. But the problem is that, first of all, you just cover a few people, and second, the knowledge, when being transferred through the other farmers, it tends to decrease in size, it tends to not cover all the areas that are needed. So education point is very important, and we would love to provide it in our recommendations for the Wachu to increase that part. And the second point is that education being a continuous process rather than a certain level that the farmers need to reach, is that we have identified that some of the farmers keep talking about fixed prices and how it would be great for them. And for us, it is an example of a potential opportunity where the trainings can also cover the areas of basic market functioning and how prices are formed, how prices are giving signals, and what to do when they're growing their crops, when they're just starting the season, how they can decide what crop, and how they can understand how the prices fluctuate, instead of waiting for the fixed price, which I assume now is hard to reach in the current setting. And the second point is about social capital. So before coming here, we've read a lot of literature, and what we were expecting from the inactive farmers is that basically Wachu is not providing the suitable price, and they're just selling it to the other buyers. And what we're seeing now is that the reason why people form the cooperatives is not prices or economically only. It's rather focused on social capital of it. People being in their cooperatives are supporting each other. They're separating the deliverables of the society, of the community there. By forming the cooperatives, they're learning how to get through the challenges together. And for now, more than half of the cooperatives that we've been have highlighted the social capital as one of the main points why they are there in the cooperatives. So let us listen to the farmers, what they want, what they need, and let us build strong communications, as highlighted by my colleague, to ensure that the knowledge is flowing to those who need it the most. That's it.
For a nice presentation.